So today is our first day. Are you ready for it? So just to tell you a little bit, why don't you say a little bit about the global money community? How did it start and everything?
I was thinking to say about myself. Actually, I was ready to say about myself, but okay. So, basically, the story of global money community started in April when it was the lockdown for many countries, and we believe that not the situation control your life, but how the way you react control your life. And that's why we organize, we call some coaches from different countries, and here we are. This is the third global money community, and the previous two, they were very successful. We had people which they had a very big breakthrough, and as you see, we have testimonials from some of them, not from all of them, because we don't want to make all the time only testimonials for you. And yes.
So this morning community, what's going to happen? So it's gonna be every morning at 8 o'clock, except for Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday is gonna be 9 o'clock. It's gonna be different coaches every day, different topics, and different also areas. We're gonna work on business, on mindset, beliefs, relationships. What else, Milo?
Melo, don't tell them all of them.
Okay, so and much more, you will see. So this group actually will be open until Sunday. So this is the occasion also for you to see if you're not sure if you like to participate or not, so you can have an idea. And it's also the opportunity for you to invite your friend. So on Sunday, it's gonna be closed and it's gonna be open only for members.
So basically, if you want your friends to be on that path which you are going, feel free to invite them. Otherwise, anyway, you're gonna have a new friends. But I don't believe you don't want your friends to benefit from what you are doing right now.
So, and we want to remind you that this morning community is not about you watching it like a movie, just just sitting and watching passively. This is not how it works. If you really want results, you need to be fully engaged, participate, ask your question. If you cannot attend in the morning, you can also attend you can also watch it later on during lunch, but still you can ask your question and tag the coach. So it's going to be very important for you to commit and to participate to this. And what I want to say also is that some people are saying, oh, let's wait after the corona and everything. And it's up to us actually to adapt now and not to wait and to move on and
wait after corona. We don't know how this corona will be here.
Yeah, we don't know how long. And what about if it's actually your greatest opportunity to grow and to challenge yourself, to go out of your comfort zone and to create something so much bigger, like a catalyst, So
I would like to say to you, if you think the books will change your life, I doubt. The action will change your life. I used to read a lot of books, but I was staying the same until I learned to take an action. And here we are today.
So today we're having with us Dr. Barbara Schwarck. So just to say a few words about Barbara for those of you who didn't meet her in the previous morning community. So Barbara is the CEO of Clear Intention International. She's also the founder, creator of neuroemotional coaching. And she also created a unique technique, so she will tell us a little bit more about it. So let's bring Barbara. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Barbara.
How are you?
I'm good. It's bright and early, 7 o'clock in Germany. Oof. It's still dark outside.
Is it cold?
It's getting colder. It was nice and warm, but now we're in the 10 degrees. Fall is coming. We're on our way to winter.
Clementine put the air condition 24. She wants to kill me. It's very cold.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's adjustable, but it's nice being in Germany. So wherever you are, wherever you're watching, good morning. And one of the things that you guys didn't say is that this will be recorded, because I know today is Yom Kippur in Israel. I'm sure nobody will be watching, but this will be recorded and people can watch it over and over again whenever they want to, from the leisure of their home or wherever they are, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget to comment, don't forget to ask the question, because this is your global money community, okay? And ask the opportunity from all these coaches, ask the questions so they can answer to you. It's to be more clear for you.
Right. So you guys already said what I wanted to say to get us going. This is our third global morning community, and every time it's better and bigger and more exciting. So there's a lot of exciting things for you to come. But I want to ask you, those of you watching it, I want to ask you a few questions. So, why are you here? What is the reason for you to join the global morning community? Are you curious? Are you interested in learning new things? Is there something, perhaps an area or two areas in your life where you're dissatisfied? This could be, maybe my business is not producing the way I wanted to produce, or maybe I have this thing going of where I think, no matter what I do or the actions I will take, I will never grow my business to the way I want to grow it. Maybe there isn't a relationship in your area, in your life, where you're not satisfied. Maybe you're stuck. So, or there's another reason. So I want to challenge you and really think about, like, why am I here? What do I want to get out of this community? That 40 days from now, I can actually see that I made some progress, that I moved myself. Over the next 40 days, you're going to be exposed to many different ways of thinking, many different ways of, taking action. There are going to be different coaches with different approaches, but the goal is always the same. The goal is to move us forward. And this is true for all of us who are participating in the global morning community. This is for me, this is for Clementine and Casimir. How are we moving ourselves forward? What can we learn from the special time where there's lots of challenges that are imposed upon us? So I want to say that to start, and I'm going to encourage you to write it down, write it in the chat. I am dissatisfied with the relationship with my mother and I want to change that. Or my business is really not growing, or I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't have a sense of purpose. Or perhaps my career is not going the way I want it to go, or I lost my job. So there's so many different things that you could be working on. Write them down and be specific about it, and so that you can see the progress that you've made 40 days from now, and then you can talk about that. So that's my invitation to you. Today we're going to talk about beliefs. So beliefs are one of the big cornerstones of moving ourselves forward. Beliefs are formed from the moment that we are born. From the moment actually that we're conceived, you are exposed to beliefs because of the bloodstream of the mother, and of course all the other people that are around the mother are impacting your beliefs. And for some of us who believe in karma and we believe in past lives, this may go, you can go back further, and so that you can say, my beliefs come from thousands of years ago, from previous experiences that I had. So it's important to say that, because I don't want to limit the point of view. But I'm going to tell you a story that will illustrate you how important beliefs are. So here I am in Germany, and I actually live in Israel. I've been in Germany for about 5 weeks now because I wanted to help my mother, and I wanted to reconnect with my mother, and I wanted to change some things about our relationship. So I came to Germany with the belief that I will be able to change our relationship, and I didn't necessarily have a particular plan, but I had that rooted inside myself that I wanted the relationship to be different. And I can say that after 5 weeks, my relationship that was kind of not so good with my mom has really changed, in that she, a couple of days ago, wrote to me that would be really nice if I would come and see her, and then she invited me to stay with her. Those are all things that have been unheard of, or I could never think that this would be possible in the last couple of years. So it's one of the ways to illustrate that when we change our belief from, this is a bad relationship and it can never change, and I don't know how to change it, but we open ourselves up to saying, this is a relationship that could change and I want it to change, and my belief is that it's possible, even though I don't know how, that will open up your creativity, and it will open up the possibility for new things to come in. I'm going to tell you another story, which even for me is kind of incredible. So in order for me to go back to Israel, I need to have a re-entry permit. And there's a lot of things that I had to do to get this re-entry permit, and I had to do it before I left Israel. And because I extended my stay, my entry permit actually expired a couple of days ago. And I was thinking, how bad could it be if I flew back to Israel with an expired entry permit? But in my exploration, I realized that that wasn't such a good idea, that I should stay in Germany until I had a new re-entry permit. Now, you have to understand, today's Yom Kippur in Israel, and of course it was Shabbat, and nobody works, and it's actually impossible and to get any information or to talk to anybody. And I've been at this for about, 2 weeks, and where I emailed the caseworker, and I asked the caseworker to help me, and it didn't work out, and she couldn't, and she didn't answer. And then I talked to the embassy in Germany to get some information, and I consulted some other people. To make it a long story short, there was no way that I could get this entry permit extended, because the country is shut down. So I was sitting with myself, and I said to myself, you are a person that believes in beliefs. So I really had a conversation with myself, and I said, let go, just let go. And just create the belief inside yourself that this will be easy and graceful, and this piece of paper will just come, fly on your desk somehow, somewhere from, you don't know how, but it will be an easy and graceful process. So I went on the site, and I thought, certainly this piece of paper is not coming from the caseworker, this piece of paper is coming from the border control. I went on the border control site, I hunted around, I found an email, and I said to myself, I know this is not the right email. But I will ask this person if they can help me. So I sent all the paperwork to them. I had to show them that I had insurance for Corona. I had to fill out a piece of paper to apply for a re-entry permit. And I said, please help me. I'm in Germany. I'm taking care of my mother. I'm waiting for some medication for my son. I know it's Yom Kippur. If you know how what I can do, I would really appreciate it. And I wrote a really nice email. And I didn't lie, I just stated the facts. 24 hours later, on a Saturday morning, which is like Christmas Eve, I got an email from this man saying, do you know when you're flying back? I wrote him back, I said, on such and such day. Within 5 minutes, I had my piece of paper. I know this might be difficult for you to follow, but this is like Christmas Eve, New Year's, you are going to your government and asking for a piece of paper when everything is closed and you can't get it. So in the end, the process was exactly the way I stated my new belief to be. It was easy, it was graceful. I got my piece of paper, I'm flying back to Israel, and everything is good. And the impossible was possible. So this is my entry to encouraging to take a look at your beliefs. So I'm still kind of in awe about the whole story because it only happened a few days. Okay, so what is a belief? A belief is something that exists, especially something that exists inside of ourselves that has no proof. So like we take it as a given, we at some point, we take it on and we say this is so. Like the sun is rising every day, the sun is going down every day. Those are some of the beliefs around nature. When we go back in history, you can see that there were beliefs around on nature that have since been disproved, such as the earth is flat and not the earth is round. And if you take a look at history, you can also tell that wars have been fought, and lots of people have been killed and suffered because one group had a certain belief and another group had another belief. So all to say that beliefs are super, super powerful. Belief is also a trust, a faith in something, and it's an attitude about something that's the fact. It's kind of a sense of being dogmatic about something. We have these beliefs inside of ourselves, and often they function in order to move us forward. And in many cases, we don't really know what those beliefs are. We're just, they're habitual, and they're inside of ourselves, and we don't necessarily want to look at them because they've been so long, and they're kind of the building blocks on how we function in the world. Now, our brain, especially the limited part of our brain, the reptilian part, which is the part of the brain that's kind of responsible for the breathing, for all the functions that keep us alive, it's very lazy. So that part of the brain likes to stay in homeostasis, meaning it wants to be calm. It doesn't want to spend a lot of energy, because you never know when a lion is coming into the cave, and that brain needs a lot of energy. So it's always, sort of laying low and preserving the energy. So that part of the brain doesn't want to change the beliefs, because it's been this way. I don't want to work so hard. I don't want to think so hard. I don't want to do analysis. So, keep the belief the way it is. When you look at your life and you look at the results that you have in your life, whether that's your relationship, whether that's your business, whether that's the way that you feel about yourself, and you take a step back, you will see that everything's made from beliefs. There's a famous saying that says that refers to the skin, and it says, we are what we eat. The same is true about our beliefs. So one of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to take a deeper look at what are those beliefs, and how are they serving me, and what can I do to change them. In my case of my story earlier, I had this belief that it was impossible to get this re-entry permit, and that I was kind of stuck. And it was Saturday, it was like the day before Yom Kippur, and nobody was helping me, because in Israel, when there's Yom Kippur, the whole country shuts down. There's no cars traveling, there's no store, there's nothing. Maybe there's an emergency room that's working, but that's about it. So I had this belief that I was screwed, sorry for my language, and that, basically that I was stuck and I wasn't able to go home. And the emotion that this was riding on is that my son's birthday is coming up, and I really want to be back for his birthday. So I was stuck in my belief. And I have been through this process a lot, and there's many things that I've accomplished with changing my beliefs. So I said to myself, hey, Barbara, you're a coach. Why don't you practice what you preach? And you take a look at this belief and see what you can do with it. And I really had to work with myself. And first I had to identify, what is my belief? So this is the first step. When you're looking at a situation and you're looking at what's going on with yourself, and you find yourself being stuck, then you want to say, what is my belief? Maybe I believe that I'm not good enough. Maybe I believe that no matter how hard I work, nothing will ever make a difference. Or maybe I believe that, the world is an unsafe place. Or maybe I believe Corona is going to get me, and I need to protect myself. So those are all beliefs that we have. And so I need to identify, what is it? What is that belief that's actually keeping me stuck in the way that I am operating today? And then I want to think about, is this belief working for myself? I want to evaluate it. How much is this belief working for myself? So if I have a belief, and the belief is saying, it's good to stop at the red light when I'm traveling, that's really a good belief to keep, because my belief is telling me if I cross the road, I might get hit or might get hurt. That's a good belief. So I want to keep that belief. But if the belief is telling me unnecessarily, you can't do something and it's impossible because nobody will help you, and there's no really evidence for that, then maybe it's a good opportunity for me to change my belief. So when you're watching this, or when you're watching the replay, I want you to take a piece of paper, and I want you to take a pen, and I want you to write, what are the beliefs that are blocking me from really having the life that I want to have. And maybe that's too big for you. Maybe that's gigantic, and you can't really handle that because that's too overwhelming. So look at it in a small area, maybe in a relationship that you're having, or maybe at work, or in your career, in your business. What are some of the beliefs that I have that are stopping me from moving my business forward? And go ahead.
What if I'm not aware that these beliefs are stopping me? What if I'm not aware? What are my beliefs actually? Maybe I say, okay, Corona, but that's normal. It's showing on the TV all the time, so this is normal. I don't think Corona is stopping me. So what if I'm not aware about my beliefs?
So if you're really not aware, I challenge that, because I think everybody has some level of awareness. You are a part of this morning community because you have some awareness of the things that are not working for you and you want to change something. So if you don't really, I can't identify it, sit down with yourself, take a piece of paper and write, or have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, you know what, something's not working here and I keep bumping up against the same problem. What do I actually believe about this? Ask yourself this question. What is my belief about the situation? Why am I not able to succeed? What do I think? And if you start to have this discord with yourself, going deeper and deeper and deeper, you'll get the answer really, really quickly. Because when you watch your child, you can see what he's operating on. When I watch my son, I can see whether he believes in something or he doesn't believe in something. So you can start also to practice by watching this on the outside, see how people are acting, and how the beliefs are moving them forward or holding them back. So just start talking to yourself. Don't make this so complicated. How easy is it for me to get up in the morning? It's hard for me to get up in the morning. Why is that hard for me to get up in the morning? Well, I'm just not a morning person, and it doesn't work for me to get up in the morning. Okay, well, what else? Oh, I believe it's always going to be difficult for me to get up in the morning. So it's not that complicated. They're usually right on the surface as part of your way to interact. Now, if it's hello Gidri from Lithuania, and hello Austria, we had somebody that came on from Austria, right? So welcome.
Sabine.
Hello, Sabine.
Yeah, we have Margarita from Bulgaria. We have Kati from Crete.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
so
we have girls from Italy also there with us. So
wonderful.
That's why we're global. Yes.
That's why we're global. Okay, so I'm taking you through this process, and it's just one way to identify your beliefs. So you want to be aware of them. You want to talk about them, and then you want to evaluate their function. How much is this really serving me, or how much is this really holding me back? And then you have an opportunity to upgrade them. You can either say, okay, this belief that milk is not good for me is a good one, and I want to keep it. Or this belief that I want to drink more water, this is a good one and I'm keeping it. Or the belief that I can't get up in the morning and it's too difficult for me, it doesn't really work because it just makes it harder. So what can I replace it with? And so that you can start playing around with that and look and identify, what do I want to hold on to and what do I want to replace? Now, I know this is easier said than done. It's not that easy. It really takes effort and it takes commitment. But Rome wasn't built in one day, as we all know. Beliefs don't necessarily get changed in an instant, but this is a process. This is an opportunity for you to start looking so that your automatic habits and responses can be interrupted. Okay.
So, how can I be sure that once that I upgrade it or reframe it, this belief is strong enough to conflict with the previous one?
That's a really good question. So you can find out by the results. The results always tell you if your belief is working or not working. If the belief is only, and you know it intuitively. So if we're present to how we're feeling about it, and we're paying attention to how our body's feeling, we know when we have this feeling of expansion. When I was riding my bike and I was thinking about this. And I was like, let go, just like really let go. It's just not that easy for us. And I let go, and then I just took a breath and I imagined this new belief. wow, this piece of paper is just going to come onto my desk and it's just going to be there, which is true. You know, it came in an email. All I have to do is print it out. I could feel this sense of relief coming, and I was calm, and I had peace inside of me. I knew this was the right belief because of the way my body was feeling when I took it on. You know, and then my job is to keep it, because I might slide back into my old belief. I had that for 56 years. So, you know, what am I going to do? How am I going to take on this new belief? So I have to keep working and keep telling myself, which is what we do with affirmations and what we do with being grateful, and you know, other techniques that we use. So it's not like one of the things where you can do like this. Maybe you can do like this when you've worked this, when you've done this process for a long time, and you're quick to identify your beliefs, or you're with people. So one of the beautiful things about this morning community is that if you're around people, people will point out to you and they will say, you know what, Casimir, that belief, you know, you might want to evaluate and see if that works for you. And then you'll say, oh, you know what, you're right. So you can do it with each other. Excuse me, you can do it with your friends, and you can do it with the global morning community. So especially if you've been working on something for a while. So Gidley was writing, you know, I want to move on and let go of the past. So my question would be, is your belief even set up in such a way that you can let go and move on? Or is there belief that's saying I have to work hard and it's impossible to let go, and maybe someday there will be a chance that I can let go? So, you know, we want to look at how are we setting ourselves up so we can actually accomplish and achieve what we want. I'm going to switch for a moment. One of the ways that I also deal with beliefs is I use muscle testing. So muscle testing is a 2,000-year-old technique that comes from China. It got reintroduced in the early 19th century, and it's based on the premise that when you say a belief that's true for you, that your muscle will respond strong, and then when you say a belief that's not strong, that the muscle will be weak. We're not testing the strength of the muscle. Actually, we're looking at the response. And it's kind of like your own personal lie detector. It works really great for some people, and for some people they have a belief that it doesn't work. And of course, when you believe it doesn't, it doesn't. And I look at the beliefs that people have because I'm interested in the subconscious and unconscious beliefs. Up until now, we talked about the conscious beliefs. And when you're asking the question, how can I actually know that I'm aware of my beliefs? I can only be aware up to a certain point, because a lot of the beliefs are in the 88% of our subconscious and unconscious. So then we need to trick ourselves to kind of find a way to identify those beliefs. I use the muscle testing. Once I find a belief that's not working, you know, I neutralize it and replace it with something positive. Other people do, you know, Mira, for instance, you'll get to know her later. She uses regression therapy. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. But what we want to do is we want to get ourselves into a place of calmness and quiet, and so we can access some of the information that we have in our unconscious and subconscious. One good way to do it for everybody is to start journaling and to really have a conversation with yourself, with all parts of yourself, the conscious part and the unconscious part, and just really inquire, you know, what am I believing about this situation that's possible. Let me stop here and see what kind of questions you guys have, or thoughts or comments that I can answer or talk about.
About the journaling, how did it go? Like, what would you say? What would you write on your journal? So
the way I like to do it is like I have to have two pieces. I like to take the page and split it in half. And on one side, I would have my awakened self, maybe my wise soul, my inner guide, the part that knows and has the information, and I would give that part a voice. And on the other side, I would have my, you know, Barbara, and I would start to say, hey, you know, I have a belief. I'm stuck in this area. I need this piece of paper and I don't know how to get it. And then I would inquire with myself, my wise self, that wise woman inside of me, the one that's connected to everything. And I would start asking questions. Well, why are you stuck? What's going on? You know, And so then I would have a dialogue. And when I write this out with myself, you'll be amazed. If you've never done this, it's an incredible process. You want to set aside some time, maybe half hour. You can do this on any subject, and you can start asking, because you have the answers. We have the answers. You can ask anything. How come I'm not employed? What's going on? And then the wise part will say, well, just tell me a little bit about what's going on and what are you looking for? And then you explain the situation, and the wise part has something to say. And then it goes back and forth. I've been able to identify beliefs inside myself that I didn't know that were there. And not only that, I was able to upgrade them. So I used to have this part of me, that was always protecting myself and always, and I didn't want to expand the comfort zone. We'll talk about the comfort zone, I'm sure, in one of those, in one of the morning sessions. The comfort zone is the part that keeps us safe and protected, and so that we can have new experiences. And I didn't want to, because it seemed scary out there. And then I realized that I had this part that was saying, my belief that was saying, it's scary, don't go out there. And then after I conversed with this part, I gave the part a new job. And I said, hey, you part who wants to protect me all the time, why don't you become the explorer? You go out and you explore new territory for me and see what it's like to be out there. And so we made a deal that this part that had a lot of energy was going to explore things and be creative and help me move mountains, and so it's all a part of the conversation with yourself. But do we make time? Are we all the time on our cell phones? Do we watch movies all the time? Are we drinking wine at night? Am I watching Netflix? How am I spending my time? Take some time, take the journal, start writing, start talking, pick somebody from the morning community, find out what their WhatsApp is and say, hey, Gidri from Lithuania or Sabine from Austria, can I meet with you? Can I have this conversation? Can we dialogue with each other? And so we can find out what our limiting beliefs are and how can we support one another. So this is what the community is for. So I encourage you to do it.
The good thing is, yes, that the people in the morning community, they're open, and we start to make parties also here in Paphos, which is the people which they're here. But I believe that is very important what kind of questions we're gonna ask ourselves. And during with our questions, we're gonna create beliefs.
Yeah, so the questions are open-ended. You want to be curious. One of the first rules that we learned in coaching in my coaching school was to be curious. So you want to put the hat of a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old on, and you want to ask curious questions. Why is it like this? Why is the sky blue? Why are you frustrated at your job? Why can't you move forward? And sometimes when the children ask us these questions, we kind of get, we're like, enough already, enough. So be like a child and ask open, be curious about yourself, inquire, and ask questions very lovingly from a place of love and appreciation and kindness. I think what I can do is I can put some questions in the post today, and I was going to challenge everybody to pick an area that they're frustrated with and identify the belief. At least identify it, and then see if there could not be a belief that would be working better. And I'll put this all in the post so that you guys can follow along. And then I encourage you, pick somebody from the group, maybe somebody that you don't know, or invite somebody that's not participating, and tell them this is what I want to do with you, and then see what you come up with. This is not about perfection, guys. This is about doing new things and seeing what happens. This is like a cook in the kitchen who says, today I'm going to put coriander in the cheese and I'm going to see if it tastes good or not. So this is experimenting in the kitchen and having fun.
My love, don't listen this now, please. This experiment, don't do to me.
And especially if the person is saying don't do it, especially if they're resistant, then you want to say to them, okay, you're so resistant, let's see what's going on there. So it's a playful opportunity to experiment. And I'm going to tell you, I know it's hard to understand how big of a belief-changing activity it was for me to get my piece of paper. But it's like everybody that lives in Israel that I tell the story, they're like, their mouth drops open and they're like, they can't believe it. So it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. So before to finish, I would like to say to the people again that this program is going to be open public until this Sunday, and then we are closing the group only for the people which they are members. So we are giving you the chance to have the taste of our pizza, not to eat all the pizza, just the taste. And before to finish, I would like to continue with our video which we create for Global Morning Community, and we're gonna post the link below in case you want to send to your friends or you want to register. It's gonna be great to be together and to grow together. Mela, want to say something?
Yeah,
Forget about the coriander, by the way.
So thank you all, and I wish you a lovely day, and we're looking for your question, Barbara, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.